Hey Neapolitans, neapolitangal here. Well, I finally got around to doing the video I've been alluding to for the last couple of weeks, the one with the storage containers. Now, if you haven't seen my Instagram videos leading up to this, I'll kind of tell you what I'm doing. Is a while back, well, every so often my mom makes pulled pork for dinner. And a while back, my son and I went out to her house. My husband doesn't usually eat pulled pork, so he didn't join us. But my mom and I went out. My son and I went out to my mom's house. Hey, Neapolitans, neapolitangal here. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. For pulled pork, and I came home with a container of pulled pork and a container of coleslaw. Now, what I'm doing is I'm packing while I'm talking to you over here. Now, the container of coleslaw was one of these. Betty Crocker sandwich container. Should hold, but it didn't. I had leakage of the coleslaw juices out through the lid on the way home. Luckily, this was down in a bag and didn't cause any damage to the vehicle, but it still should have held. So, what we're doing today is going through some containers I bought from the Dollar Tree, and we are going to test their durability when it comes to having liquids in them. Now, obviously, some of these really aren't meant to hold liquids, but still, they're showing us like pictures of pasta and such, which means that you're going to have some sort of liquids in them, at least an expectation of being able to use them for a liquid. Now, I will tell you about these blue and clear containers I have here from the Dollar Tree. Great for sandwiches, not much else. And the reason I say that is, well, and also too, the red ones like this from Betty Crocker, they crack easily. But not everyone's going to have a teenager that's going to abuse their containers like I do. Or a husband that's going to abuse the containers either. My husband's bad about it too. So we are looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Dollar Tree containers that we're going to put to the test, as the crazy Russian hacker says. And then I'm going to go over here and grab a couple of, yes, Betty Crocker's name brand. I'm going to grab a couple of regular name brand ones that you'd go and buy a kit from Walmart or Target and use. So, and we don't really need anything fancy for these. Get a Ziploc. No, it's Surefresh. Okay. Alright. So let's show you the lineup first, and then we're going to fill them up with water and find out what happens. So the only well-known name brands, we've got Rubbermaid. These are Rubbermaid, I forget what they call them. They had a name. I think they were something stackable because all this stuff clicks together. All the lids click, all the containers slide together. And then we have the Rubbermaid Take-Alongs. These don't stack as nicely as those, but they're still nice, and they're a pretty color. Then we have Surefresh products. I've got 3 Surefresh products here. It's got a little one like this. And this is a 12.2 fluid ounce, 36 milliliters. Then we have a soup container. Holds 2.94 cups, or 23.5 ounces. And this is actually made for soup or some sort of coffee, so it should not only hold it, definitely should not let it out, considering the type of, what we're going to be in there. Then we have the Surefresh sandwich container, the Betty Crocker sandwich container. Now, these I actually have up in my cabinet, but they're all cracked, so they're basically good just for sandwiches and chips at this point. And then this is also Betty Crocker. This is 50 ounces. These guys really don't have ounces on them because they're not really meant for liquids, but they should still hold. And then I have a water bottle from the Dollar Tree, and this is a 28-ounce water bottle. So theoretically, what we should be able to do is fill this baby up with water and hold her upside down, and zero leakage once it's completely sealed up. So we are going to go ahead and start with this one since it's in my hand. Turn my faucet on. Now, for those of you who are going to ride my case about wasting water, I'm not going to waste water. I'm not going to fill each one of these up with its own water. I am going to do what I just did and do this. And what we want to do is just feel around and see if there's any leakage. And this held pretty darn good. Now these are water bottles you can buy from the Dollar Tree. These I knew already that these last pretty good because I actually, my son and I and some friends go camping every year, and usually our camping trip involves tubing down a river, and 9 out of 10 of those tubing trips aren't exactly quick tubing trips. Now these are BPA free too, so our trips down the river aren't quick. So you do have to take refreshments with you. Only one of our trips that we ever taken, that was a short run, and we didn't have to take refreshments with us because quite literally it was like a natural lazy river. So you get, very short run, you get out, you walk back up to the start of it, and you get back in and do it all over again. So, okay, so this is definitely a win. This one definitely held water. I think next we're going to go to the soup container. This is a soup mug. Now the top does have a vent on it if you're trying to cool it before you eat it, but you want that vent closed if you're planning on actually making it waterproof, watertight. So let's open this up and transfer that water over. Give it a good shake. Now I'm just going to put these upside down over here on the counter so they can start drying out for me. So this snaps on, it's got 4 snaps and the vent. And again, before you even try this, always make sure, whoops, I gotta turn this. Make sure that your vent is closed before you try this experiment on your own. Now, I don't know. I'm thinking this is going to be a fail. I could be wrong. I have no, I have no faith in this particular product because the lid comes loose way too easily. But let's see. Oh, there it goes. And in case you can't see it, I'll put it over my red shirt. This one is leaking. So the Surefresh soup mug, the soup, is a fail. It did leak. This is good if you're going to put, carry this upright in your car all the way to work, or maybe you're going to warm up soup at work and put it in here. It says microwave, freezer, and top rack dishwasher safe. Remove lid before heating and microwave. Okay, so now let's stick with the Surefresh stuff. We're going to go to these little Surefresh containers. These are great for soups, good for little salads. I mean, I don't know if anyone will take that little bit of salad to work, but I guess if you're having meat or something to go with it, you would. Let's put this lid on. It is completely full. This lid also does not feel tight. I mean, you can. Sorry for the grandfather clock. It just went off. This actually is my grandma's clock. My aunt who passed away last year had it, and then she gave it. My mom gave it to me because she didn't have enough room for it. But this lid has too much play in it, so I don't know. Well, so far so good actually. Oh, there we go. So I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's a little bit of water in the rim right here. It has not leaked out yet, however, but it is in the rim, and just barely touched it, it came out. So I would call these Surefresh containers a loss as well. Again, these just don't seal right. And oh, there goes a drop. It is dripping finally. So yeah, so that one is going to be a loss. All right, let's put this over here to dry out. Our next container is going to be the Surefresh sandwich container. And now this is snapped pretty good. There is zero clay in that lid, so let's take that lid off. I'm going to put some water in both sides. The water will wind up to both sides anyway once I tip it up, but we'll put water on both sides. Again, like I said, I didn't want to waste water in every container, so I'm going to set this container flat on the counter. So about 13 ounces of liquid that I've been shuttling back and forth between the different containers. So we got about 13 ounces of liquid in here. Now, if it were airtight, like you would really want a food container to be, I should be able to do this and have no leakage. And let me look around. Oh, and here it goes. And that one's leaking. You can see the leak, the drip, drip. With my blouse here maybe is a little easier. So this is not something that, now again, all these items that are failing, take it with a grain of salt, because you could fill this up with something, take it to work, as long as you have no chance of it tipping in your vehicle, and be perfectly fine. You could put, you could put salads with salad dressing in here. Maybe you could put some pasta in here. But again, as long as it doesn't tip, you're okay. But also keeping in mind, however, that it's not airtight. If it's not watertight, it's certainly not airtight. So that's certainly not something you want to store in your refrigerator, for example. Any sort of foods that that should be completely airtight for storage. Okay, now we are in the first Betty Crocker container. This is the Betty Crocker sandwich container, and let's see. Oh, I already see water. Look at that. Oh boy, that is dripping worse than any of them. You see that? Oh, there we go. Right in front of my face is much better. That one leaked more than any of them so far. So, huge fail. And again, that's not something, when a container is leaking water out like that, is definitely not a container that you want to store food in the refrigerator for any length of time. This is something that you want to take a sandwich to work in. Take a salad to work in. Anything that's not going to actually require storage for any length of time, a couple days, whatever, you don't want to use one of these containers. So let's put that over there. We are into the second Betty Crocker container. We're going to just pour that water directly from one container to the other. Put this on the towel over here to drip dry. This one obviously is the second largest. No, this is the largest dish I have. Snap the container on. This, I would venture to say, would be more for salad, this type of container. I don't have any confidence in this one at all, but let's see. Oh, there she goes. I got dual drops. So again, any of this stuff you can certainly use to take, to transport food in. Don't go out and spend tons of money on stuff that doesn't leak. If, as long as you don't need to put this upside down or sideways in a bag, this is perfectly fine. If at all this ever needs to tip up on its side and there's any sort of liquid ingredients, don't do it. Okay, so we have tested 2 Betty Crockers, 1, 2, 3 Surefresh. The Surefresh is the Dollar Tree brand. They have all leaked. The only thing that did not leak in any of this testing was the actual water bottle. So now we are into our 2 brand names. And then, yeah, Betty Crocker, yes, it's a brand name, but there is a reason why these particular products are at the Dollar Tree and not at, not in Walmart. So this is the Rubbermaid Take-Along. Take the top off. And obviously, you know what, let's go for the other one, only because there's so much water in here, I don't want to waste it all. So we're going to go into the Rubbermaid Container. This is like the Snap Fit or something like that. I forget, it's been a while since I bought these. So we'll put that lid on. Got a nice tight seal. And this is one of those lids almost like Tupperware that you can actually burp. So there's our Rubbermaid container. Upside down. Nope, not even a hint of a leak. Shook the hell out of it, didn't leak, so that's a win. Now, let's put all this over here. All right, we're down to our last container. Now, the other container is also Rubbermaid. This is the Take-Along. I bought these, I don't know, just before Christmas, I think, this past year. For as much of that water in there as will fit. The rest in the sink because I am done. Let's snap its little baby lid on there. And give it a test. Not even a hint of a leak. That's what you want to see for a container. Now, let's throw one more monkey wrench into this whole thing. In here are these are Boulder Twin Lock storage quart size bags, Ziploc type bags from Aldi's. These were $1.79 for 50 of these. I almost always buy this type of thing at Dollar Tree because really the only thing we're ever putting in Ziploc bags ourselves is chips and sandwiches. Almost never put anything in there that's going to leak. Maybe if a vegetable has been cut up. But on occasion I do use these guys for piping bags. I've never used this brand for a piping bag, but the Dollar Tree brand I have used and the Ziploc bags that Dollar Tree carries the actual brand name I've tried to use. And they always bust here at the seam. Always. So let's take our last bit of water that we've got and pour in here and zip it up. Let's dry that off first. Obviously it's spilled water, so it's going to be, not fair. So let's dry this off as much as possible. And then, now the reason I do these things is I am a camping person. I camp. A couple times a year, especially this year, we're going camping. And whenever you go camping, you have to have storage. You have to have reliable storage. Because if you don't have reliable storage, you've got bugs. If you don't have reliable storage, you're going to have animals in your food and such. You need reliable storage for when you are, like when we go tubing, we need stuff that is water fast, that won't leak water. Now, of course, I have a bag for my phone, but it's actually made for phones, but you need stuff that is water fast. Now, let's tip this up. Now, I don't know if you can see them, but there are a couple little droplets of water in here. Those, I believe, are from when I spilled the water originally. So, we're going to roll this baby up on the bottom and see what happens. Not a damn thing. Okay. Check those corners. No. Okay. All right. Well, she held. So again, these are the Boulder quart-size Ziploc bags from Aldi. You get 50 in a pack. I think I paid $1.79 or $1.89 for them. It was such a stupidly low price that kind of caught me off guard. Now, we're going to throw a bonus curveball into this. Let's stand that up with a bottle or something. Now, my mom gave us some stuff for Christmas that I know for sure is not water fast. And then we're going to try that new hack before I sign off here with the bottle. I'll have to get an empty bottle for that. So, for Christmas, my mom gave me this stuff from Temptations by Tina, I believe. I think she got these things off of, probably she got these off of QVC or HSN. The lids do not hold tight. These, you cannot store stuff in the fridge for any length of time in these. Overnight at best, and even at that I would be leery. Let me show you. They're gorgeous. They're absolutely beautiful, but not practical. And let me show you why. Look at this lid. It is not, it's hard to see, but it is not all the way around. It does not hold tight. She gave me this casserole and 3 little loaf pans. I'm 100% when I tip this, it's going to spill. What's the point? What is the actual point of something like this? I mean, can somebody tell me what the point of a container like this is with a lid that doesn't even seal on it? You put it in the fridge. It's completely open to the air. There's zero air tightness to this container. Other than transporting solid type foods from one household to the other, I really don't know what the point of a container that has that much play in its lid when it is snapped on. Please, somebody tell me. Alright, so I am going to take a quick break. I'm going to come back to my final thoughts, then we'll go from there. So, for my final thoughts, what do I think? Well, if you're just starting off with like a new place and you need some storage containers, but you really maybe can't afford to go and buy a whole box of storage containers from like Walmart or Target at $1 a piece, it's worth it. Just keep in mind whatever you're storing in those isn't going to keep as long as a regular storage container would keep. Keep in mind that if you're transporting this stuff to work with soups or something in it, you can't fill them up all the way, and they need to stay completely vertical, not horizontal, and any stretch of the imagination, they need to stay fully flat. Now the water bottle, yes, definitely. Get those water bottles, fill them up. Use them as reusable water bottles rather than taking regular water bottles to work with you daily. I sort of do this where I work at. We are an appliance repair company and we have all kinds of ice machines out back. My absolute favorite ice machine makes almost a slushy type ice. It makes these little tiny cubes, so they call it a nugget machine, about that big. And depending on what cycle you catch the ice at, sometimes they're so soft you just crush it with your finger. And we tend to eat a lot of that at work. All of us, at least 2 to 3 times a day or more, go out there and fill up our cups. So I keep solo cups in my desk at work, and I'll fill it up 2, 3, 4 times a day, and sometimes not sometimes, every day, when I leave work, I'll actually fill it up one more time to munch on the way home. So, now obviously the 2 Rubbermaid containers I showed you, the take-alongs, the takeaways and take-alongs, those are golden, they're beautiful, they don't leak. So, so yeah, that's my final thoughts. The water bottle was a success. Obviously the 2 Rubbermaid containers were successes. The 2 Betty Crocker containers were failures where it comes to holding liquids, and that's also going to mean you're anything liquidy in your pasta sauces, soups, anything like that. Let's see, that was two Betty Crocker containers, 3 Betty Crocker containers, I'm sorry, and 2 Surefresh containers. Again, they were all failures, 3 Surefresh containers, including the soup one. They were all failures for what they could possibly be used for in your home besides storing dry goods. This soup thing is definitely a failure because, quite literally, unless you work at home, you're going to be carrying a soup container to work with you that if you've put soup in it before you go to work, it's going to spill. And that's so going to suck. It says you can cook in it though, so that's a plus. I mean, if you're taking a condensed can of soup or something to work with, you dump it in there and, you know, do what you need to do and eat it, so that's not bad, I guess. But again, none of that stuff that leaked would be any good for storing stuff in the refrigerator for more than a couple of days, because unfortunately, if you're getting water seepage, you're going to get air leakage, and it's going to start growing bacteria. So take everything I've just said with a grain of salt. Do whatever it is that you want to do. Just remember that someone really did check this stuff out for you and told you the skinny. And let's see what we have here. This is the Surefresh Label. This was the 2 sandwich containers, and as you see, it shows pasta, which means there would be pasta sauce involved. This is the label off the large Betty Crocker storage container. So you see, it really is Betty Crocker. This is off the little round Surefresh container. Again, it's showing pasta. And these are all microwave, freezer, and top rack dishwasher safe and BPA free. At least that's, you know, good. This was the container, the wrapper for the 2 Betty Crocker sandwich containers. This one shows microwave, freezer, top rack dishwasher safe. It does not say BPA free. And the only thing it shows in this particular one is that it's distributed. Okay, these were made specifically for Dollar Tree, according to the thing on back, so they're not really expected to be good. And it shows fruit in there. Now, if you're chopping up fruit, I guess you're not expecting to have liquids leak out. I don't know about you, but when I do strawberries for strawberry shortcake, they're liquidy by the time they're ready to be eaten. So yeah. All right, guys. So that's all I've got for you today. I'm gonna go compile this video and get it set up for you, and see you soon. Bye.